Hello and welcome to Let's Talk SEO. So one of the challenges of ranking a website is having great content. Now you can create a boatload of content using AI, and there are loads of videos that teach you how to do that. But what kind of content should you create? And how should you create that content? How many words should it be? And all of that information is quite literally out there, but there's no way to bring it in bulk. So in this video, what I'm going to show you is how to use Chat GPT. And this is not just Chat GPT, this is the paid version of Chat GPT. So you would need the paid version of Chat GPT because we're going to use a plugin or a bunch of plugins in this case that will help us extract the data we need to start creating great pages that rank better than our competitors. Now, this works whether you're using the avalanche technique, something I've also discussed. I've discussed the avalanche technique in a prior video, which you can check out, or if you're building reverse silos, also something I discussed in one of my previous videos, which you can go back and watch to see and learn that tactic. But the great thing about this tactic is that you will start generating content that's already ranking, or the type of content that Google wants to see from your site, and you will do it in bulk. Now, I always tell people whenever you're using AI to generate content, make sure it's high quality content. Make sure to edit that content, put in the time, because if you care about the site, you don't want the site to get hit, and you don't want to just post low quality content to a site a site that you care about. So make sure that you do your due diligence. Just speeds up the entire process a lot more if you're using AI. So as most people that watch my channel know, I offer SEO services. So whether you're looking for monthly SEO, looking to get a website audited, you can go to cloudseodubai.com. And my topical mapping services are also there. So if you're having a problem trying to rank your site, you're trying to get your site beyond that's where it's stuck, or you're starting a new site, my audit service will help you get there. I can also help you figure out why Google might have hit you with a penalty. But that requires an extensive audit, the audit of which is available on my website, cloudseodubai.com/audit. So you can go there, visit my site. The URL is in the description. Also, if you're looking to build topical authority, something you should be doing if you want to rank your site, that I help build a topical map that you can then use as a blueprint to create content for your site and start ranking it ASAP. In fact, I've done so many of these that I still get emails from clients that say they're ranking very well because they are an authority and without a single backlink, or without having to purchase a single backlinks, because a lot of backlinks they get are organic backlinks, so it's something they don't necessarily need to worry about. And then finally, my monthly SEO services. If you need to get in touch with me for a quote, there's a link in the description to a Google form. Click the link, fill out the form, and I will get in touch with you. Now, sometimes when I get in touch with people, my emails go to their spam folder. If that's the case, please make sure that you check your spam folder, because most likely, if you haven't heard from me in 2 days, it might have gone to your spam folder or your junk folder. Let's get on with the video. Okay, so this is my Chat GPT screen over here, and on the right I have a text document open. This is going to be used to build the content that we're going to scrape, and this is a temporary file. But if you want to do this seriously, you will have to create a permanent file. But for this video, I'm just going to use this text document. It's untitled, so just use this for demonstration purposes only. And before I get into the video, I also just want to make clear that scraping other people's content and scraping other people's website could get you into copyright issues. Now there's no law against scraping other people's websites or other websites or competing websites, but copying their content might breach copyright law. So make sure you don't copy their content. The idea here is to scrape the site to find out what kind of content strategy they're using, and then create similar content based on what they've already published and what is already ranking, and the way they build the internal links on their site. So this demonstration, I'm going to use my own website because I don't want to run into any copyright issues or potential copyright issues. Demonstration, I'm going to use my own website because I know for sure how my own website works. And I also know that demonstrating this using my own website means that if ChatGPT gives me any incorrect data, I will know what that data is and try to fix it. So to save time, I have gone ahead and put in the prompt here. Can you extract a list of URLs? But before I do that, you need to install this plugin right here, which is called Scraper. So you go to the plugin store over here real quick. For those who don't know, you type in scraper, and well, there's scraper. I've already installed it, but if not installed, you have to click install and it will install. Once you've installed that, make sure you do new chat. So you click here and do a new chat and make sure that this is enabled and then do a new chat, because if you don't, then Chat GPT will not use scraper. So you need to make sure that you take these steps. So once you've done that, once you've created a new chat, you go to, can you extract a list of URLs from this site, which is my site over here. And what you want to do is we're going to give it a sitemap. So in this case, it's cloudseo.com. Sitemaps is a different one for the blog posts, different one for service pages. So scrape these individually if you were scraping my website. But, you know, for this demonstration, I'm only using this one over here, which is mainly just my blog post. So if I go here, I put this in, ChatGPT uses scraper, gives me a list of all of these URLs that are from my site. If you click on the URL over here, you will see it opens this blog post over here. So it's doing this correctly. Sometimes ChatGPT might get this wrong, and so you need to check the URLs just to make sure it's extracting data correctly. So now it has listed, so there are 19 articles on my site, which is, I think that's okay. That's how many I have. The next one is, can you crawl through each one of these URLs and list the data from the title, H1, and meta description? This takes a while, and this takes multiple prompts. So the first thing is it will just extract data from the first 5 pages. So in this case, it has done this. So the title is right. Is the integration of Google Search Generative Experience a threat to SEO? If I click over here, this is the title, or the working title that I have on the site. Will Google's AI Search Generative Experience kill SEO? So that the title is definitely right. Then it says H1 is not explicitly mentioned. And the reason here is because the title and the H1 of my pages in the blog posts are the same, which is not good SEO practice, but I'm too lazy to fix that. The next one is the description. This article discusses the implications of Google's incorporating an AI. Now, sometimes if you don't have a meta description, the Google will try to maybe generate its own meta description. In my case, I have a meta description for each one of my pages. And the reason why scraping this is important is because meta descriptions are important because people will click on websites that have an attractive meta description, and that there is a user signal. So just make sure that you always do your meta description, even though it's not a ranking factor. So it's gone ahead and listed just for the first 5 pages, and then I just did continue, and then it listed 5 more pages. And if I do continue again, it's going to list 5 more pages. But we're not going to go that far. We're just going to do these 5 pages over here for demonstration purposes. But if you're doing more, or you're scraping an entire site, you might have to do this multiple times, because each time you're going to scrape these. Now, what I want ChatGPT to do here is provide me with a content outline for each one of these articles, and this has to be a very precise prompt. So I'm going to go ahead and show you what to do. I'll say, please provide me the number of words per URL that you listed, plus I need you to provide me with a content outline for each one of the articles you've listed. We might have to break this prompt. In some cases, it's not necessary, but sometimes I need to break the prompt. But I'll go ahead and show you exactly how this works. So I'll pause the video, and I'll get back to when this is done, just in the essence of saving time. So there are some people that are charging an astronomical amount for an AI software that they might have built that does this same thing. But you don't need to spend a lot of money or a great deal of money. Just pay $20 to ChatGPT for the paid version, and you should be able to do this. So there's no reason for you to pay upwards of $2,000 for a piece of software that purportedly does this, because ChatGPT is good enough. And my suspicion is that they're also using ChatGPT to kind of do this. So that's something to keep in mind. Do not pay for any software that proclaims to do this. You can do it yourself. Now, so as you can see, ChatGPT has now begun to generate what we've asked it to. It started with the first URL, will Search Generative Experience kill SEO, and this is the one over here. Add the data to this stack just so that
we have everything neat. So it says this one is 511 words. Yes, that's correct. To some extent, it's like a 5 to 550 word article. And it's also listed the introduction. So it's doing a good job. I'll just go ahead and pause the video and come back when this is complete. Okay, so as you can see, Chat GPT generated the outline and it gave us a number of words. It gave us an outline. This is a pretty good outline, but when it went to the second URL, it kind of hung up. It says load failed. Now, when this happens, you just need to click the regenerate button. And if it gets stuck, just to continue, or if it gets stuck with a load error, just click on regenerate. ChatGPT will get right back to work on this. So we're gonna work on what has already been generated for the purpose of this demonstration. All right, so as you can see, ChatGPT kind of got stuck again, and this does happen quite a bit. In this case, I'll hit regenerate again, but I don't want to go through the whole process again. And all I need is just one article to demonstrate exactly how this works. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just copy the outline over here. Also, just make note of how many words this is. In fact, just copy it from here and put this right underneath the first one that we have. So the URL, we have the title with the H1, then meta description in addition to a content outline. Now, there are a few approaches from here on out. The first approach is to ask ChatGPT to generate content that's based on this outline that it has given us. Now, that would be a somewhat mundane approach. And I would say that you could take a better approach. And one way to do this is to just look at Google Search Generative Experience Skill SEO. And so what I'll do is I'll just copy title. Sorry, the title is here. So I'll just copy this title here real quick. I'll go on to Google to find if there are any newer articles that we can use. So I'll go to tools, but anytime go past week, let's do that. So we've got Google Search Generative Experience and the future. So this is one article. So we can open this. This was published 4 days ago. And we also have this article here real quick. So we have this article and we have this article and we have this article. So we have two articles and we have the one over here. So what we're going to do is we're going to ask ChatGPT to do the following. So we're just going to copy this over here. And the word count is, the only reason I asked ChatGPT for the word count is that we're not under the word count, but we're actually above it. And so I'll do new chat over here, and I'll just paste the outline I have. And what I want to ask ChatGPT to do here is, can you please generate fresh content that's based on the outline I've pasted below. However, I also want you to pull updated information from the following URLs to beef up the article. Ideally, I want the article to be above 600 words. Okay, I will put in the URL, URL1, URL2, and if you want to outrank a competitor, you don't want to be using exactly what they have on their page. You want to be doing them one better. And so in this case, we're going to try and use this prompt over here to do it one better. We'll go ahead, enter this over here. And this may take a few minutes perhaps for ChatGPT to process. So I'll pause the video and get back to you when this is done. Oh, and I also forgot to tell you that you also need the link reader plugin. So the link reader plugin is here real quick. Just show you, go to the plugin store and do link reader, and you should be able to install the plugin over here. The link reader plugin gives ChatGPT the ability to read URLs or links on the internet. Without this, ChatGPT cannot read other websites on the internet. So just make sure that you have this, because without it, you might not be able to do what I'm doing over here. And as you can see, ChatGPT has already begun to generate content. It has a introduction, Google's plan for SGE. And if you go to my original article, this is my original article. So, you know, it's a little bit different from what they're doing over here. Yeah, so it's quite a bit different. My article is shorter. My article is not maybe as updated because it was published back in May, I believe. And back then Chat GPT and AI and all this was relatively new to the mainstream. And so not as much information. So I might use this information to update my existing article, but I'll have to human edit it. And I'll show you why human editing is important, what kind of markers ChatGPT uses, or the type of markers ChatGPT uses that tells people like me instantly that the content is AI generated. And you see this over here where it says the realm of search engine optimization. The realm of is something that ChatGPT uses a lot when it's generated in your generated content, because there's a lot of AI generated content that uses this. Now, in this instance, I'm probably not been able to find a lot, but yeah, so this is one thing that tells me that this is AI generated content. And if I just read through or skim through this real quick, this is not a 500-word article. This is not even a 600-word article, perhaps. So I'll just go ahead and ask ChatGPT. And okay, let's skim through this while ChatGPT does this thing. The relevant organization is on the cusp of a transformation. Step forward, it represents Google's plan for SGE. This means that when you search for a topic and generate concise information, enhance user experience. However, now you'll see there's an H2 over here, implications for website owners. And it starts with however. This is not grammatically correct. So you would have to fix niggles like these, grammatical problems like these. But overall, this article is fine. It's not great, but let's ask, can you beef the article up to 1,000 words based on the URLs I provided you earlier? Now, I don't think ChatGPT may have gone through those articles, but let's see if I can push ChatGPT, because there's quite a bit of stuff over here that, yeah, so this is just a directory page. So this is probably the main page over here. What is Google SGE? SGE impact on businesses, adapting SEO and marketing strategies. So ChatGPT has not gone through this article, which is a rather short article, but it's good for demonstration purposes. And now it starts with in the ever-evolving world. Now, even this here is a sequence of words that AI uses a lot. So I would remove this word here again. So this is a second example. And I don't remember all of these examples right at the top of my head, like the kind of words that ChatGPT strings together. But yeah, these are the kind of words or phrases that ChatGPT uses a lot, and AI uses a lot in general for some reason. But you would want to avoid this, and you would want to edit your articles manually before you use them. So just make sure that you do that. Okay, so it's done. Let's read through this real quick. So in the ever-evolving world of Google SEO, Google's generative experience, the groundbreaking development, the innovative approach is not merely an enhancement. Google's plan for SGE, enhanced user experience, implications, website owners. So skimming through this real quick, it appears that this write-up is okay. This expanded version of the article now contains approximately 1,000 words, offering a more in-depth. Okay, so if I put this into Word, and let's just see what the word count, and it's 634 words. So it's higher than what we had, but it's not at 1,000 words. This will take some more prompting to get it to where I want it to be, but this is how this would work, is you would then generate a lot more content. You would then do this for all the other pages that you see over here. The final bit to this would be is you would then provide it with the link to the XML. So what you will do here is this is the XML. You'll copy a link over here. And can you add anchor text to add relevant anchor text to the article, to articles in this site, map.xml. Can you add relevant anchor text to the article here? Now again, we have to give ChatGPT a second for it to process and spit this out. This is a quick and dirty way of doing it. You will have to check for the internal linking, especially because ChatGPT does sometimes mess things up. So just make sure that the anchor texts are relevant and the users find them relevant to the articles that they're pointing to. Now, this is a very small subsection of articles, and ChatGPT might not work as well. And if you have a larger site, it might take longer for it to process. So in my case, this is just not working as well. So I have to regenerate this a few times. So I'll pause the video and I'll come back to when ChatGPT is done. Okay, so here's ChatGPT. ChatGPT has listed all the places where this anchor text could go, but I'll ask ChatGPT to insert this into the article. Can you insert this into the article? ChatGPT will then put this into the article, and you can see that if I click here on the anchor text, this could be, so it's done an okay job. So it's here, it says credential guide to pending seller articles. Now this is something wrong over here. This is fine. So in terms of anchor text, I think how to do a local audit using ChatGPT as explained by Cloud SEO Device. So if you click here, so this anchor text is also good. So you really have to also check the anchor text on this, but this literally saves you hours of time compared to if you were to do this manually. So you can see all the anchor text over here. You can see, consider reading about how to do local SEO. So it makes a recommendation, which is very good for user experience. In a similar way, Cloud SEO Device discusses Google's rollout of new AI detection tools. So as you can see, it's the way it does this. It's good for user interaction. So people who are reading the article may also find this related to the article helpful. And by doing this, Google will see that people remain on the site for longer, they read more of the pages, and that's sending a positive signal to Google, which will help your pages rank better in the long term as compared to if you were not doing this. Now, there is a difference, and there's a lot I can talk about in terms of anchor text and how to use anchor text effectively to rank a site. But this is potentially good for user experience because Google doesn't really tell us exactly what's good for user experience. But in my experience, having this kind of anchor text is highly beneficial, and ChatGPT in this case has done a good job. Sometimes it does not do a good job, and so you need to check all the anchor text or make sure that all the URLs in the sitemap.xml are working. And that's the last thing I'm going to show you after this is done, is to make sure that all the text, all the links, because you might have some dead links in the XML sitemap are working. So I'm just going to type in the prompt. Can you go through all the links in the sitemap to ensure that there are no 404 pages? And the reason I'm doing this at the very end is because I forgot to do it first. But if you're doing, I know all my pages in this XML are, none of them are 404s, none of them are redirects. But if you were to do this for someone else's site, you wouldn't really know this. And so I left this bit for the very end. So then most people skip to the video and they go to the end. So this is an important part of doing this. So, just put this in the end. Okay, we'll just do new. And so this is a prompt right here. Again, you can find the prompt on my website, cloudseodubai.com. Go to Learn SEO. There's a link. I don't have a blog. It says Go SEO. So if you go here and it says Site SEO Tutorials, if you click here, you will find that there's a new article that explains how this whole process works with prompts. And the reason why I'm not putting this into the description of my video is because some people on mobile devices have a problem reading the description or following the description. Also, the other problem is YouTube doesn't seem to like that kind of description. Some of my videos didn't do very well because I had these in the description. When I removed them from the description, for some reason, the videos just started doing well again. And so I'm not adding this to the description. There's a pinned comment with the URL that will take you directly to the article if you want to follow prompts with screenshots. And it really summarizes the video and makes it a lot easier to follow through as compared to just watching a video. So if you're more of a reading person, you'd find that the blog post is a lot more helpful. And so I think ChatGPT is done scanning the XML page, the XML sitemap. Okay, so welcome back to the video. And as you can see, ChatGPT is going to scroll through and scrape through the WP web sitemap posts. And it is listed mainly all my URLs are working. There is one that I didn't know that was not working, and this is why SEO is important for your business. If I click here, and this is why it's important to always scan the HTML file. This is not working. So all the other pages are working now. It failed to load, and this is something you need to deal with a lot. I'm not going to regenerate because it takes a whole lot of time. And the larger your sitemap, the longer it takes. So just be mindful of that. But other than that, once you know that all the URLs are working, you can just delete this from the list. And so sometimes what you'll need to do is you'll need to provide Chat GPT with the list. So if you have the list tag like I have over here, you can just copy this into Chat GPT, the URL, and so you make sure that you'll need this URL is scraped. So this is how you create a topical map based on what your competitors are ranking for using Chat GPT, and also then using Chat GPT to generate that content. The last bit over here is the meta description. Now, the meta description, like I have it over here, like will serve generative experience skill SEO. This can also be done at scale, and I'll show you how to do this at scale. So what I'm going to do here is I'll copy all of this and I'll put new, and I'll say, I want you to generate new and catchy meta descriptions to replace the ones we have listed below. Please be mindful of the fact, so how many, that the meta description should be less than 160 characters, and there are no exceptions to this. This is important because sometimes ChatGPT can just go wild and generate real long meta descriptions. So we've given it this prompt, and it shows you how it will look. So if I put in a meta description that ChatGPT generated over here, as you can see, it's only generating the meta description for these that I have listed. And so if I put in the meta description over here, so this is the meta description, put this over here in the preview, just remove the description. This is the boring one that we have over here. This is the new ones. Explore Google's latest AI tools for image tagging and tracking. This is well within, let's take a look. So this is well within, again, this is a dummy. So I've just set this up just to see if the meta descriptions are, so just to make sure this is within the correct elements over here. We'll hit mobile, and it's slightly higher for mobile. But ChatGPT has followed our instructions to the T. We'll go ahead and take a look at this over here real quick. Again, it says OK. And you can check all the URLs. And this is not the only search simulator. If you go and if you search for search simulators, there are quite a few that you can use. Just put in meta description preview or simulator, and there are quite a few that you can use. There you have, folks. This is how you can go about generating great meta descriptions, generating a content plan, and generating a topical plan for your website based on what your competitors are doing. It's quick and easy. If you can also check out, I have another video on how to rank a site using ChatGPT. I also have an article that mainly discusses how to use Bard AI and ChatGPT to generate original content. You can check that out you can check that video out. It should be in the end screen of this video, or you can click back to the channel page and find the video over there. So there you have, folks. This is how it's done. As you can see, it's not that difficult, but it takes a bit of prompting. But once you're done, this literally saves you a boatload of time. It saves you and you are practically doing this for free.
There you have, folks. This is how you can create a boatload of content using AI, and also making sure that the content aligns with the content strategy that's already working and Google is already ranking. Now, there are other ways to do that, as I said earlier in the video, but this is the best way that I think you should be using to create content, or and to create a content strategy for your website. So like and subscribe. Let me know in the comments below what you think of the video, or if you have any questions, and I will see you guys in the next video.